Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we have an Unreal Engine Humble Bundle of interest to game developers, and I gotta admit, these are kind of rare. When it comes to Humble Bundle, Unity is almost always the one stealing the show there, you know, when it comes to assets and models and that kind of stuff. Well, this one here is for Unreal Engine developers. However, there is a reason why I titled this video Unreal Humble Bummer. Because, well, first off, I thought that was kind of funny. But second, this one it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. It's not going to be for everybody, but for the handful of people that are about it, it's a great deal on a very specific thing. Now, this bundle is organized in a very odd way. So the tiers make almost no sense. We'll get back to that in just a second. But this one is all about something called Koala. Now, Koala allows you to bring in real-world information into Unreal Engine. By the way, there's also a Unity plugin if you're interested. You would have to buy that as well, by the way. And this is like a subscription service for bringing real-world data into your game. The obvious one is maps, but on top of that, you can bring in data like weather, points of interest, even crime maps. So there's a ton of details and information that you can pull in from Koala's server and render in Unreal Engine. So if you wanted to create a game like Pokemon Go, that is sort of what this bundle would work for. And on top of that, you've basically got 3 map styling. So you can render the map using a fantasy scene, a sci-fi scene, or a low polygon map style. So those are 3 styles available here. Now, I do want to point out, though, they are $10 a piece. So this is $30 worth of value. Right now, we're looking at $48 Canadian, where if we drop down that tier, it's $31 Canadian. So you're basically getting these at like half-ish price. It's not really an amazing deal. Now, another thing to know about this bundle is, without this is literally useless for the majority of people. Now, this is actually, if you are already using Koala, go get this. It's a no-brainer, because what you're basically getting is 3 months of their server access for $1, and it's $60 a month. So it really is this much savings. But do keep in mind that this is a limited time subscription to their service. So at this next tier up, you're getting the Unreal Engine plugin or SDK, which is $300 of the Unreal Engine Asset Store. And then you have to pay $60 a month, which I think is ludicrous, to be honest. If you got a $60 a month service fee, why are you charging people on the front end? Like, basically, you know, if it came down to it, maybe pump this up a couple of bucks here and make this completely free. You want to get people using your product and locking them away behind the SDK. I don't understand how they are possibly charging for the SDK. Now, another thing to note here, though, is you are also getting 3 months here. So what you'll notice here, if you go into the description here, you can actually take that 3 months and the other 3 months. So right here, redeeming this item on the Unreal Engine Marketplace includes a 3-month trial period for the next project you create with the Koala back end. Cannot benefit more than one 3-month trial. However, you can apply the back end 3-month voucher, so the $1 tier, so you can get a total of 6 months. So you're getting basically a half a year of the subscription plus the Unreal Engine SDK for Koala. So what exactly is Koala? Again, it is a way of getting context information, context-aware information from the world. You can actually render real-world maps in 3D using this system. So again, you got things like elevation maps, you have real-world weather, and then you've also got access to developer side of things. You've got points of interest that you can create in your world. So again, if you've got things like, if you're doing Pokemon Go, you could actually set up Pokemon in specific worlds. And this has a lot of data of the stuff that's going on in the world. You have multiplayer hookup, you have GPS hookups, and so on. This was given an Epic Mega Grant in the past. You can see here a number of people are actually going about using it. And what you get in this particular Humble Bundle is the plugin itself, which again is $300, runs on the major platforms. One thing to be aware of, it is for Unreal Engine 4.27 and down, so Unreal Engine 5 developers are currently out of luck. They do say, if you go into their questions, Unreal Engine 5 version is in development, but if you want to go ahead and use this, you're going to be using it for the previous version, which is a bit of a bummer. And then on top of that, you're getting the 3 styling systems, again, $10 each. So they're about half-ish price if you buy that top tier. So one is for fantasy styling, one is for low poly styling, so you can see the results that you render here. Again, you have weather effects, and the weather effects actually get the new styling as well. And then finally, there is a sci-fi styling one, so if you're creating, you know, a Tron-esque vector graphic sort of world, that is what this one will give you in the end. So that is the Humble Bundle. Again, we'll see all the tiers here. It's It's very specific, and they're not alone in this space. We've also got like Cesium that's out there, for example, that does a similar thing. It allows you to bring in real-world apps. Now, this one has more real-world on-demand data, things like the weather, etc. But it's going to appeal to a very small subset of people. But I cover all these bundles, so I'm covering this one as well. It's nice to see finally a Unreal Engine bundle for redeeming things on the Unreal Engine marketplace. So hopefully we get to see more like Unity style bundles in the future. It's just this one is meh. It's like I said, it's an Unreal Humble bummer, which, by the way, say that 3 times fast. It's actually very tricky. Now, I'm not saying, or I'm not crapping on this product at all. The Koala backend could be very, very good. The SDK, the integration, everything about it, the documentation, it looks pretty solid. It's just very, very niche, and I really hate the fact that they're nailing you with a subscription and then charging you for the plugins. That just seems like double dipping, and it also seems kind of self-defeating in my humble opinion, because if you want people locked in using that, paying for your service, you want as many of them using it as possible. And then this part for the tier amount that they're charging here, that just almost seems larcenous to me, at least compared to the value of other Humble bundles. So one of the first Unreal Engine bundles we've seen yet, it's just meh. Now, if you're looking for something like this, you're looking to create a Pokemon style game, or you're creating a real-world application with mapping, etc., this could be an absolute godsend for you, but that's pretty darned niche. So let me know what you think of this in general, and yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.